Hey, everybody, it's Friday, August 14th, 2026. I'm Allison Gill.
And I'm Dana Goldberg, and this is Beanstalk.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know what we're doing. It's Friday, everyone. We're just trying to keep our sanity. It has been a long week.
It's been a very long week. Many headlines, dozens of headlines. And by the way, if you ever want to get every single headline and every single article we source that we cite for each of the pieces of news that we tell you, it's all available for free at MullerSheWrote.com. You'll see it. The daily headlines,
Nice.
who the guests are, a link to the show to listen to it, and every single source cited. I thought it was important that you see where all this news is coming from instead of just, I don't know, taking our word for it. But
we have honest spaces, right?
Just trust me, bro. That's what the DOJ says.
That's right.
Anyway, let's talk about the Decoy Plane. We promised we'd go into a little more detail over here on Beanstalk when we went over the story on the Daily Beans audio podcast. But I wanted to kind of like get down in the weeds a little bit about who was on what plane and why. And this was the Decoy Plane. We're talking about the Decoy Plane, which is the old Air Force One,
right,
on which Trump left the press, several high-level cabinet members, all when he was whisked away in that catering cart to a secret third military plane. Because I just want to go over this because the story just keeps getting more bizarre. Now, Senator Chris Coons talked a little bit about it on CNN, and I want to play that clip for you. Watch.
What are your questions that you have upon learning of this?
Well, my first question to those who are on the leave behind Decoy Plane would be, do you realize the president just isn't that into you? So if you were Secretary Rubio or Secretary Bessent or Scott Miller, how do they feel about having been left as decoys? More importantly, and more seriously, the press who accompany the president should not have been put on a plane where there was any serious risk of a shoulder-fired surface-to-air missile taking that plane down. I understand putting a priority on the president's security, but frankly, this was just a despicable incident of disrespect for the press and for members of his own cabinet. They should have been allowed to disembark and to fly home another way rather than taking off on the number one target in the whole region. So even if there was low confidence in the intelligence, Sarah, it didn't seem like an intelligent choice to me for the president to slink away in a catering truck, leaving key members of his cabinet and the traveling press to take off in Air Force One. And let's remember where this all comes from. President Trump extracted a $400 million gift of a super luxury jumbo jet that he will allegedly take with him to his presidential library. And the Air Force has had to spend hundreds of millions of dollars more to make it meet the security requirements, which it still doesn't, which is why he wasn't on that plane. This is just another of many examples of grift by the president that wastes taxpayers' money and puts people at risk.
I do.
Listen, I love a good joke. It's hard when they don't land because it was funny. The president just isn't that into you.
It's just not that into you. The
It's
old
just
Sex
not
and
that
the City
into
thing.
you guys. Stephen Miller, Scott Bessent, Marco Rubio. The president's just not that into you. This is really important, though. He brings up an important point in this video.
He does.
He left the press pool on the plane, like we had talked about yesterday, on that decoy plane, without telling them there was danger. And you know who else was on the decoy plane? Caroline Leavitt. And then, like, 5 hours later, she decides she's resigning. Interesting timing. I think it's interesting timing.
It certainly is. Because, I was just telling John Fugelsang on Fugelsang Fridays on the Beans that if Caroline Leavitt's departure had been planned, like her maternity leave or whatever,
Yeah.
they'd have had a replacement
100%.
liar, a replacement liar ready to go. But again, we don't have confirmation that Leavitt left it because of this, but man, the timing really is suspect.
It does look suspect.
It really does. And as our friend Marcy Wheeler points out over at emptywheel.net, which you need to subscribe to if you aren't already. Maybe the fact that Trump abandoned the whole press and his cabinet members as expendable, like red shirts in Star Trek, maybe that's why he was so pissed that the New York Times leaked the story.
Yeah.
Because you and I couldn't figure this out, Dana, right? You and I were like, why is he so upset that his cutter jet isn't ready yet? Like, that's a really good rhyme, by the way. Why is he so upset that his cutter jet isn't ready yet? One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. But like, it didn't stand to reason that he would like put together a whole leak investigation and go crazy over this.
Right.
But maybe this is why he dragged Kash Patel back from visiting his girlfriend in Chicago, which he was using the FBI jet for,
Right.
and stuck him in a room next to the Oval Office with Susie Wiles to huck subpoenas and phone record warrants at New York Times reporters and their families, because he really didn't want Rubio and Stephen Miller and Stephen Chung and Caroline Leavitt and Besant to know that he put them on a decoy plane.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Might help explain it. And I think that that's a really brilliant observation by our friend Marcy Wheeler.
Well, it could also be the reason why Kash Patel and Susie Wiles were seizing phones. So they could learn who was actually in the catering cart. Because they didn't know with Donald, so that they could find out which of his closest allies leaked this thing to the Times. Someone told the Times this story, and it had to have been someone in the catering cart.
Or close to it, right?
Right. Marcy Wheeler points out, and I quote, "Consider the very small circle of potential sources for this story. One of those closest aides in the catering cart, or the junior people they brought with them. There's just a very small group of this big ego people left back as bait on old Air Force One. Someone inside the Secret Service involved in the ruse, Turkish source, who learned of the transfer of Donald Trump doesn't know whether one of his most trusted aides, someone like his comfort blonde, is what they're calling her, is exposing his humiliation. Whether one of the big egoed people left as bait is exacting revenge, or whether someone like Whiskey Pete is leaking signal text to journalists again."
Yeah, that's again, brilliant point. It's a small universe of people that would have had this information. Now,
Yeah.
my bet is the Secret Service.
I would bet too.
Because
they seem the most easily purchasable,
well,
bought off.
or they're angry.
Yeah, that's true.
They're mad. This is what happened with Kash Patel's drinking and the fact that they had to get a battering ram, allegedly.
That's true.
To check on the hangovers. This because, Andy McCabe and I talked about this a while back on Unjustified. Your Secret Service detail is with you all the time. They know everything about you. It's a very personal group of people, and they're very, very tight-lipped about everything that they see. But if you're a asshole,
Yeah.
like making them work overtime, having them hold your hair back while you're puking in a bucket or whatever, maybe not so much. But I do love that. Marcy Wheeler calls Natalie Harp Trump's comfort blonde.
No.
Who can be seen, she can be seen everywhere with Donald lately, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a picture of her. But who knows? Either way, this humiliating catering cart business is definitely a good reason for Donald to have lost his mind over the cutter jet leak to the New York Times.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling there's probably a lot more to this story that we still have yet to learn. So
Yeah. I think
we're
you're
going to keep
probably
following it. But I mean, that makes sense, right? We're like, who cares if his jet wasn't ready? But if it's a humiliating trip in a catering truck
right. Uh-huh.
and exposing his high-level cabinet members as decoys.
Oh, God, that truck must have smelled like shit. I mean, it must have smelled so bad. There's no way. There's no way he could keep those in for that long period of time, especially when he's scared. Come on. What happens to your bowels when you get scared?
Probably not.
Nerve.
I'm probably a little better at, maintaining. But I don't go in a lot of catering carts across
That's true.
tarmacs.
I mean, when is the last time? Who amongst us? You know what I mean?
I used to do it every summer, but like it kind of got old, and then I sort of got old, and my back started to being crouched down.
Get in there. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You give things up when you get older.
You gotta. But one of the things we don't give up is our Moxie moment.
Ooh,
It
what
is
do we
very
got?
important. It's pretty good. This one comes from Lindsay Schifferl. I hope I'm saying Lindsay's last name right. This is a photographer on Instagram with a very specific genre. Look at this.
Hi, folks. Are soggy guys in historical costumes your vibe? Then you should hire me. Hi, I'm Lindsay, and I'm a photographer, and I'll throw your man in the water for you.
It's really cold.
Get your ass back in the water, Jeff! Fella's not your thing? That's okay. I'll throw your lady in the water. I'll throw your lady. I'll throw your gentleman. I don't give a shit. Just pay me, and I'll make them soggy. All right? Hire me.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Every step of man. Tall, blind, dark and mean. Rough and tough and strong and free. Not a best mother nature. She's a single woman too.
I mean, those guys and theys and thems look really good in the water.
Get back in the water, Jeff.
Oh my God, so funny. So funny.
I've had that one for a while. It's been in the hopper for a minute. I've been waiting to unleash it on a Friday when we all needed a good laugh. So
good.
thanks to Lindy Schifferl, photographer extraordinaire on Instagram, and thanks to all of you for watching Beans Talk and listening to all the other shows that we have. Really appreciate it, and we're going to be back Monday. So thanks again. I'm Allison Gill.
I'm Dana Goldberg, and that was Beans Talk.
Oh my
Have a
gosh.
good weekend, everybody.
Have a really good weekend.
Have a good weekend. I feel like it's a Saturday Night Live skit. Have a nice weekend, everyone.
Have a good weekend.
Enjoy your Saturday.
Stay safe.
We're swearing. Daily beans, daily